Every year, hurricanes destroy millions of acres of farmland in the United States, causing billions of dollars in damage. How do these catastrophic storms impact the nation's food supply and infrastructure? Join Trending Farm in an eye-opening farming documentary.
Of the destruction, the devastation left behind by Hurricane Irma, and you're absolutely right.
The most recent Atlantic hurricane to hit the United States was Hurricane Irma, a Category 5 storm that formed from a tropical wave off the coast of Africa in August 2017.
Look at this. This is just incredible.
It rapidly intensified over the warm waters of the Atlantic, reaching peak winds of 297 mph, making it one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes since Hurricane Allen in 1980.
It's like you're being blasted with the fire hose.
The image of Irma's deep blue eye, with its perfectly symmetrical structure stretching more than 25 miles long and nearly 400 miles in diameter, covering large areas as it moved, has impressed scientists and the public.
Sideways here, and the winds just continue to pick up.
Over its lifetime, Irma maintained Category 5 status for 37 hours, making it the longest-lasting hurricane of that strength ever recorded in the Atlantic Basin.
This was there.
Hurricane Irma is right over us right now.
The most severely affected areas were the Caribbean and Florida. A few weeks before Hurricane Irma, the United States suffered from Hurricane Harvey in late August 2017, which caused historic flooding in the Houston area.
Better have a safe place to be.
It hit the Texas coast as a Category 4 storm and brought incredible amounts of rain.
Wednesday at 1 o'clock, right around Beaumont, Texas. So because of this, anything they have ever seen in terms of flooding. In fact, the forecast models really...
Some areas recorded more than 4 feet of rain in a short period of time. Although it only brought strong winds when it made landfall, the scariest thing about Harvey was that it moved very slowly, caused historic flooding, along with severe pollution and erosion in Texas. The two major hurricanes that hit the U.S. in 1 year have caused huge economic and social consequences. Hurricane Harvey caused severe damage to homes and infrastructure, while Hurricane Irma destroyed most of the buildings, power lines, and transportation systems.
Livelihood of a ranch, as well as the lives of so many cows.
The two storms' yellow currents created floods that swept away millions of livestock and poultry from farms, leaving floating corpses of animals drowning or suffering from hunger and disease after the storm.
Daddy, I know you're so scared, baby.
Millions of warehouses, factories, fences, irrigation systems, and other structures had their roofs blown off or collapsed.
We buckled, we shut everything down at 6 o'clock.
Crops were submerged in water, directly affecting local agricultural output in the last months of 2017. Floods washed away fertile soil, causing serious water pollution for a long time, forcing many farmers to change their crops or livestock to adapt. Small-scale farms that were severely damaged had to rely on aid from the government and non-governmental organizations to recover. The storm may have passed long ago, but the devastating effects on the U.S. agricultural sector and the recovery from the storm is a long and difficult process that cannot be described by a few numbers provided by agricultural documentaries. Have you seen the terrible impact of natural disasters on the economy and human life? Leave a comment below this agricultural documentary to share the loss with American farmers. Before 2017, the U.S. was severely impacted by Hurricane Katrina, which devastated the Gulf Coast, particularly New Orleans in 2005. Scientists and agricultural documentaries have called Katrina one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history. At landfall, Katrina was a Category 3 hurricane with powerful winds, causing severe flooding and storm surges along the Gulf Coast. The storm's eye passed directly over New Orleans, one of the most vulnerable areas. At its peak, Katrina reached Category 5 status with winds of 175 mph, 280 kmh, and a pressure of 902 mbar, causing catastrophic damage. For more insights, like and share this Trending Farm farming documentary.
Seeing their home destroyed and their...
Hurricane Katrina caused significant loss of life compared to other U.S. hurricanes. Heavy rains and storm surges flooded entire fields, destroying farmland near the Gulf Coast, while strong winds toppled trees, damaging barns and warehouses. millions of livestock and poultry were lost. Power and transportation systems were severely disrupted, delaying recovery efforts. Clean water contamination added to the difficulties, causing major concerns for local officials.
And get more relief on the ground quickly. John Yang has this.
Despite numerous meetings between leaders and the president, finding an optimal solution remained challenging. This highlights the need for constant disaster preparedness. Like and comment on this farming documentary if you agree. Back in the 1900s, a turbulent transition period, in addition to historic social and economic reforms that affected the pace of development of domestic industries, the United States also suffered from many consecutive natural disasters. The Galveston hurricane of 1900 was the deadliest natural disaster ever recorded. It made landfall on Galveston Island, Texas, with winds measured at that time up to 200 km/h and tsunami waves up to 4 to 5 meters high. With the primitive weather forecasting system of this period, the storm's data was not recorded specifically and in detail, but according to many farming documentaries, the power of this storm was terrifying to many farm and factory owners and caused great consequences for the people of Galveston for a very long time. The storm had devastating effects on Galveston's livestock farms and plants, with more than 50% of facilities severely damaged or destroyed. High winds and flooding resulted in the loss of approximately 20,000 livestock, while poultry farms reported drowning or being swept away by millions of birds. Many processing plants were flooded, halting production for weeks. The devastating effects of the storm were captured in numerous agricultural documentaries that became essential to the development and study of local hurricane preparedness. In response to the storm, local authorities initiated rapid recovery efforts, including restoring power and transportation routes. Emergency livestock shelters were established and farmers were provided financial assistance to rebuild. These measures helped restore essential services and gradually return farms to operations. Climate change and human impacts are causing more and more natural disasters, causing hundreds of millions of dollars in damage to the U.S. agricultural industry, as shown in farming documentaries on the Trending Farm channel. Have you ever witnessed hurricanes and their devastation? Leave a comment below our farming documentaries and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on videos with tips on how to prevent them. China has been facing serious floods in 2024, causing great loss of life and property. The most devastating floods are concentrated on the banks of the Yangtze River, especially during the rainy season. Unusually heavy rains that lasted for many days caused the river level to rise. In addition, it also causes the amount of water in the reservoirs to be overloaded, forcing local authorities to issue decisions to release floodwaters in hydroelectric reservoirs to avoid dam failure. This is also the reason for widespread flooding. According to reports from China's Agriculture Ministry, floods over the past week have caused damage and loss of hundreds of millions of livestock, including cows, sheep, pigs, and poultry. Many cattle were bloated and floating on the water, making the situation even worse. Many livestock households lost almost their entire pig farms in the recent flood. About 16,000 pigs drowned in a rain-induced flood on June 15th on a farm in Daodawa Autonomous County. Although many solutions were proposed, only about 4,000 dead pigs were buried in a cornfield about 1,640 feet from the farm. Still, thousands of dead pigs were seen floating in the water, while thousands more remained locked in flooded barns. In fact, last summer China faced African swine fever, although not harmful to humans, often causes mass deaths of pigs. As floods wash away fertilizer from farms, fears are growing of another swine fever outbreak, which could make the damage to farmers even more severe than the immediate impact of floods. In addition, it is feared that up to 500,000 cows died in the flood that swept through China's Henan province last week. There are about 1.5 million livestock here, and some estimates suggest that 1 in 3 animals died in the floodwaters. Cow carcasses floating on the water are still being collected by the government for processing. This aerial footage shows the ruins of dead livestock in China. Another natural disaster that has a major impact on China's agriculture industry is a tornado. The amount of material a tornado can carry in one rotation depends on many factors, including the intensity of the tornado, the size of the object being swept up, and the object's height above the ground. F5 level tornadoes can carry objects weighing several tons, including cars, houses, and even large trees. The F5-level tornado in Shandong province in 2021 swept away thousands of houses, roads, and bridges. More than 10,000 hectares of agricultural land and farms were destroyed, crops were dumped, livestock swept away, dead and injured. A warehouse outside Guangdong province exploded in an EF2 tornado accompanied by the sound of a waterfall as debris filled the air. Hundreds of chicken farms and food factories were destroyed, roofed off, and collapsed. A large number of chickens were lost. Egg incubation warehouses and food factories were broken down and completely damaged. A cyclone blew away hundreds of thousands of grass-fed cows from food factories in the Jiang River Delta grasslands. A Chinese citizen recorded footage of a helicopter and a cow being caught in a waterspout. Even cars near food factories were swept into the air and shattered when they fell to the ground. Damage caused by tornadoes in China is estimated to reach billions of dollars. The number of water cannons is increasing, forcing the Chinese government to strengthen the construction of an early warning system. Livestock farmers and food producers also need to strengthen barns and warehouses and prepare emergency response plans. Please leave a comment if you have specific measures to deal with tornadoes. China, with its long coastline and diverse terrain, is often exposed to major storms from the East Sea. These storms cause many serious consequences such as floods, landslides, tsunamis, causing great damage to people and property. Typhoon Haiyan 2013 was one of the strongest storms ever to hit the Philippines, then affected southern China, causing heavy damage. Oh my God, it causes consequences such as floods, landslides, tsunamis, and strong winds. Storms cause direct damage to the number of livestock, damaged facilities, and loss of food sources. It disrupted supply chains and caused heavy economic losses. However, after every storm, Chinese people always unite to clean up and overcome the consequences. In addition, the government also offers appropriate support plans for farms and livestock households. Therefore, each food factory and household owner needs to be equipped with more detailed disaster prevention plans to preserve their livestock population. Does the area you live in often have natural disasters? What did you do to overcome the consequences? Share with us to accumulate experience. In 2021, a thunderstorm swept through China's mountainous provinces, causing hundreds of cows to be killed by lightning. Damage is estimated to reach millions of dollars. Carcasses of deer and sheep are scattered throughout the mountain. There is almost no life left here. Farmers and workers at food factories were mobilized to destroy hundreds of animal carcasses before they decomposed and affected the environment. This causes economic and mental harm to millions of households in China. Hail is another severe weather phenomenon affecting China, causing significant damage to the livestock industry. Stones ranging in size from a few millimeters to several centimeters can cause serious injuries to pets, especially the head, back, and legs. Open wounds can become infected and lead to death if not treated promptly. On dairy farms, hail causes stress to the herd, reducing milk production and quality. Hail also damages roofs, walls, and livestock equipment, making it difficult to care for and feed livestock. Natural disasters cannot be controlled, but we can prepare and respond effectively by monitoring warnings from governments and following guidance to minimize damage. Community solidarity is also important in difficult times.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. So since we don't really have any clue of what kind of difficulties that you could be facing in your farms, please don't forget to share all the problems you're facing and obstacles you're going through, as this will tremendously help us with our upcoming videos.